The anime begins with an otaku doctor named Garou Amiya obsessing over a K-pop idol named Ai Hoshino. However, he soon finds out that she is going on hiatus due to her poor health condition. Upset over this, the nurse calls him a lolicon. Garou explains to her that he idolizes her because of one of his past patients, named Sarina Tendauji, who dreamed of becoming an idol. If she were ever reborn, she would want to be the child of a celebrity. Garou tells her there is no need for her to be reborn since she is already cute, and when she is discharged, he will be her #1 fan. Sarina jumps happily at him, asking him to marry her, and Garou replies, "When you turn 16, I may consider it." Unfortunately, Sarina died at the age of 12, and Garou says he follows Sarina's favorite idol to keep her in mind. Garou makes his way to a patient's room while worrying about Ai's condition. As he looks over his papers, he notices that the girl in the room is only 16 years old and pregnant. While they are talking, the girl takes off her hat, and Garou instantly recognizes her as the idol, Ai. Trying not to freak out, he steps out and has a little grieving moment. He then goes back in and informs Ai that she is having twins, but her producer tells her that having children at such a young age will ruin her career if the public finds out. While sitting on the rooftop and thinking about Sarina, Ai appears and tells him that she doesn't have a family and wants to give birth to the twins she has, but without telling the public. Garou comes to a settlement that he will personally deliver her children to her, as he believes it is his destiny. 40 weeks have passed, and Ai's kids are about to be born. Garou decides to go home for the night and wait until she calls him. On his way home, a hooded man asks if he is the doctor of Ai. However, since she used a fake name, he becomes suspicious of how the man knows her real name and chases after him. Garou quickly loses sight of the man and looks over the cliff when he is suddenly pushed from behind and murdered. Garou wakes up as the baby of Ai Hoshino, and his new name is Aquamarine, along with his new sister named Ruby. Although Ai can't remember people's names well, she tends to forget even her children's names at times. It's been a year since then, and Ai has been out of the industry for a while until today, which is the day she returns to being an idol. The producer has a meeting to discuss what to do with the kids and puts his wife Miyako in charge of watching them. Ai asks her producer if she can take the kids, but he instantly declines, telling her that if she does that, she can kiss her idol career goodbye. Aqua notices that as a mother, Ai is hopeless and reckless. However, due to the other two, things will work out. Ai goes to work, and Aqua turns on the TV, only to discover that his mother almost accidentally revealed something on her first day back. Fortunately, she saves herself. Ai's performance takes over the whole studio, and Aqua is so delighted to watch her that he is grateful to his murderer. Ruby wakes up and joins Aqua. She is also someone reborn, like Garou. Aqua realized that much earlier when Ruby was caught on the tablet. However, they both are unaware of their past identities. Aqua feels bad for Ai for having two weird bizarre set of twins. Meanwhile, the murderer of Garou was also watching Ai's performance, slamming his hands on the desk and going crazy because of the kids Ai had. Later, when Aqua notices that unlike him, Ruby is actually accepting breastfeeding from Ai, he asks if Ruby was a girl in her previous life. Ruby nods, and he decides to let her slide. While Ruby was talking about a creepy otaku who is obsessed with her mother, obviously she is talking about Aqua. Ruby has a diaper accident, and Miyako starts changing her diaper, but regretted her decision to marry Saito and ending up having to babysit someone else's kids. She had hoped to meet handsome young models, but seeing that her plan failed, she got an evil idea. She took out Ai's maternity health book and started taking pictures of it, intending to reveal her high-paying magazine. Aqua realizes that the size difference between them is significant, so killing Miyako is out of the question. Aqua and Ruby decide to act as special beings sent by God. Ruby's performance helps a lot in convincing Miyako, saying that the penalty of death awaits her if she fails to comply with their demands. And the reward of having a second marriage to a handsome model is what Miyako was sold. Later that night, Aqua covers Ruby with a blanket on the couch and thinks about how her passion resembles Sarina, his old patient. Ruby wakes up, thinking she heard something, but ignores it, as there is no way Aqua would call her by her past name. Ai notices that her current salary is only 200,000 yen a month, which cannot provide a good life for her twins, nor would she be able to send them to the best schools. After Ai leaves, Ruby and Aqua confront Miyako about this issue, and she responds with the troubles of joining the industry and the slim odds of becoming an idol. Meanwhile, Ai is not feeling motivated and opens social media, only to find a user pointing out that her smile seems off, putting Ai in an even worse mood. The twins forced Miyako to take them to the shoot because they were very worried about their mother. Miyako strictly told them to avoid anything that would attract attention to them. The performance began, and Bikumachi had the whole audience pumped up. Meanwhile, Aoi keeps thinking about that comment. As a professional, she practices her fake smile in front of the mirror, making it perfect to every millimeter. Suddenly, her attention diverted to the overly excited twins who were more pumped than any of the other fans. Aqua and Ruby got carried away, while Aoi gave a genuine smile on seeing how cute her babies are. Someone made a video of them and uploaded it on Twitter. With over 2 million views and thousands of retweets, having Miyako gets an earful from her husband. The same person who complained about Ai's smile now comments that this is what he wanted, under the picture of Ai smiling over her babies. A year has passed, and it is no longer suspicious for Ruby and Aqua to talk in front of others. After using a difficult phrase and receiving a head pat from her mother, Ruby surprises Ai. However, instead of suspecting anything, Ai thinks that Ruby is a genius like her mother. Since the promotion event, Ai has been getting more and more gigs, and she finally makes her debut in a drama series with a minor role. The twins again force Miyako to take them along to the shoot. Aqua bumps into the director, who warns them to throw both twins out if they start crying. Aqua panics and gives a detailed apology, which piques the director's interest. The director hands him his card and asks how he knows such high vocabulary at such a young age. To avoid suspicion, Aqua states that his enriched vocabulary is all thanks to YouTube. The director has a talk with Aqua, explaining the hierarchy, how they have to cast the main girl with strong agency, assign a side role to the most talented actor, and offer a newcomer like Ai the opportunity to bring freshness to the scene. Ai gives a perfect performance, as looking cute in front of just a camera is easier than in front of a whole crowd. Ruby and Aqua join Ai to watch the episode at their home but are agitated when all of Ai's scenes are reduced to just a single faraway shot. Aqua took out the director's card and scolded him over the phone. The director apologized, saying that he was pressured by the big agency of the main girl. The focus had to remain on the lead girl being promoted. However, Ai was too pretty and was stealing all her spotlight. The director explains that Ai's scenes were cut because she was too good. To rectify the unfortunate event, the director offers Ai a role in his movie, but only on the condition that Aqua agrees to accept a role in it as well. Aqua agrees to this bartering. However, the movie is just a low-budget project. Upon arriving on the set, Ruby rolls on the floor, crying and wanting to go back to her mother. Aqua wonders how she is not embarrassed to act like this at her age, not that he knows how old she actually is on the inside. Kana Arima, another child actor in the movie, interrupts them and shares that she is angry with the director for changing the script just for Ai and Aqua. She then insults Ai, saying that her one-shot scene in the recent drama was so bad that they decided to cut it out. Aqua and Ruby put all their strength into not trying to murder Kana in this moment. During the scene, Kana gives a flawless performance, while Aqua is certain that if he tries to act, he will just end up ruining the scene. However, when the director reveals that he only wants Aqua to act naturally for this role because he finds him creepy even without acting, Aqua gives a perfect scary performance. This leads to Kana getting upset over being overshadowed. 3 years later, the movie was released and it was very well received. Even though everyone did a good job, the one who carried the whole movie was undoubtedly Ai. She started landing more high-profile work after that. The twins started preschool, and whenever Aqua would try to ask Ruby about her previous life, she would evade the question. During dance class, Ruby runs away and Aqua follows her, learning that Ruby had never danced before. Ruby had spent the majority of her life in a hospital room, and putting dancing aside, she had to try very hard just to walk. Even if she tried, she would end up falling. Back in her room at night, Ai helps Ruby practice dancing, and Ruby's dream to dance like her idol, Ai Hoshino, finally comes true. Aqua notices his sister's exceptional dance moves, along with her great acting skills as well. He gets a scary thought. Maybe a part of him thinks that this girl could actually be Sarina. Ai notices her babies reaching weird conclusions about their father, so she calls him to give him the address so he can meet their babies. Saito celebrates with Ai and his wife for finally achieving his dream, an idol he had nurtured to make it to the dome. During Ai's first meeting with Saito, she tried to scare him away by sharing that she had a single parent since birth. Her mom got arrested for stealing and she was transferred to a children's home. Even after release, her mother never came to get her, so Ai is unfamiliar with the feeling of love. Saito convinces her to fake love until it becomes the truth. However, Ai still longs for the day when she can tell her children that she loves them. Before the concert, the doorbell rings, and at the door is the same stalker who had killed Aqua. From behind the flowers, a dagger came out and stabs Ai. Ai remembers her good times with this family while the stalker complained to her for feeding them lies. However, when he realizes that Ai was expressing love to them in her own way, he runs away and commits suicide. As Ai was slowly dying, she held Aqua, patting his head while Ruby was slamming on the door and crying. Ai told them that she wanted to see them grow up and one day tell the world that they were her children. She tells Aqua and Ruby that she was glad she had given birth to them and finally tells them that she loved them from the bottom of her heart as the stars faded from her eyes. After her death, Ruby looked through Twitter to find negative comments about her mother, including ones that said it was bound to happen or that they weren't surprised. She alters to them all to die and slowly want to die herself. Miyako then asked Aqua and Ruby if they wanted to become her children officially, since she felt like they were her kids too. They agree as Ruby runs into Miyako's arms. At Ai's funeral, Aqua realizes that the stalker was being fed information about Ai's hospital and her new address. As her circle is limited, the only one who could possibly do that is their father, who is also a part of the acting industry. Aqua sets a new goal for himself in this world. He decides that he will not die until he takes revenge on their bastard father with his own hands. Aqua then asks the producer to raise him. Now the director accepts Aqua's offer, and a couple of years have passed since the death of Ai. Aqua and Ruby are now in middle school. Ruby has decided to follow the same route as her mother and become an idol. However, last time she didn't meet the requirements, but this time around she does. Her friends tell her she has the potential to be an idol, although she may need to work on her singing skills a bit. Aqua begins walking home, thinking of her two biggest secrets. One is that she has memories of her past life, and the other is that Ai is her real mother. Aqua starts rethinking the moments with Ai and shouts, "I'm going to be an idol like mom." Aqua taps her head, telling her that entrance exams are near and she needs to focus. She tells him that when she becomes an idol, she won't need high performance scores in school since they don't focus on your grades. She is beating two birds with one stone. Aqua tells her not to gamble her life over little factoids, as he proceeds to tell her the negative sides of becoming an idol, such as money, unwanted attention, and retiring at a very young age. Ruby gets irritated at Aqua, saying that isn't life supposed to be about taking risks, as she imagined herself in the hospital. He decides to leave it at that and goes to the director's place. Ruby explains how the death of their mother has changed her brother. He always has a gloomy face and seems like he has been up to something ever since he became the apprentice of the director. However, Aqua isn't the only one who has changed. Ichigo Ai's producers fell out of contact, and Bikumachi, who was on Ai's team, disbanded after losing her. Strawberry Production no longer has an idol department. Ruby suggests to her adoptive mother that she just put together another idol group, but she tells her that it is not that easy. Ai was a very special person and gave them an experience no one can easily forget. As Ruby does the job longer, it becomes clearer to her that miracles don't happen like that twice. As Ruby was thinking over what was said, she received a phone call from the idol industry but was unfortunately rejected, or so she thought. As it turns out, Aqua was the one who had rejected her, pretending to be the agency in order to protect his sister from becoming an idol. He wanted to do what was best for her and told the director that he wouldn't let her follow in Ai's footsteps. The director tells that Aqua had quite the sister complex. Aqua replied that it was better for him to be alone, as he alone could take care of everything. However, Aqua's plan didn't exactly work out, as Ruby was scouted by another agency shortly after. Ruby continues to tell Aqua and Miyako about how Ai became popular only because she was scouted, as this must be a sign. However, Miyako and Aqua have their doubts that this agency is actually real. Miyako asks her if she has looked over the contract, to which Ruby replies that she will get to look at the contract after they show her around the place. They both give her a doubting look. Aqua begins thinking of a way to stop her, even if that means badmouthing the company with his own hands. He takes the Strawberry Company card to pretend he's a scouter and invites a girl who was in the same agency that invited Aqua into the production room. She thought that since Aqua was young, he was going to trick her into doing something bad. Miyako glares, thinking this is already a nightmare for her. Aqua questions her about the contract they are required to sign, including the vibes there. She replies that her pay is less than what she agreed on. She doesn't receive enough money, and the studio favors some girls and puts them above everyone else. Miyako tells Aqua that this is how the idol industry works for most companies, and putting together an idol group full of young girls would be very difficult now. Aqua tells her that he is not going to let her join an agency where rumors like that are spreading. Aqua suggests hiring that girl for real to Miyako, but Miyako tells him that she would never hire someone who badmouths their colleagues. Ruby begins to get ready for her big day of visiting the agency. Miyako asks her if she's ready for this and tells her about the hardships of becoming an idol, including the possibility of gaining a stalker. Ruby says she wants to become an idol just like her mother and will make it come true. Miyako tells her not to join that particular group and instead join her agency, the Strawberry Productions, as they plan on making a new idol group for the first time in over a decade. Ruby happily agrees and signs the paper. Miyako tells her that it is official and warns her that even though she is technically her daughter, she will be sued if she tries anything. Aqua goes to the director's house to edit a film for him. The director begins talking about Aqua's sister and asks him if he's okay with it. Aqua replies that he doesn't care since it's better than having her perform with some unknown group. The director then asks if Aqua has an itch for acting again, but clarifies that Ruby is the only one trying for the performance school while he himself is trying out for general education. The director reminds Aqua that when he first asked him to raise him, Aqua had a spark for acting. However, Aqua's intention at that time was not to become an actor but rather to get closer to finding his father, who had gotten his mother murdered. He tells the director that he has no skill for acting compared to Ai. The director says that he sounds like an ape and needs to stop comparing himself to Ai, as he will never be her and she will never be him. He tells him that everyone has the right to dream, and he was about to, until his mother busts into the room. Aqua begins to question why he is 40 and still living with his mother. The director tells him that he's too young to be acting like an old Joe and advises him to follow his dream. Aqua and Ruby arrived at Yoyudo campus to take their test. They both passed with flying colors. Ruby's beauty was enough, and Aqua's knowledge from his past life got him outstanding results. As they regrouped at the window, a girl heard Aqua's name and instantly knew he was the same person she did the play with a while back. She got excited that she could finally see Aqua again, but he told her that he wasn't applying for the performing act but for general studies. Aqua replies that since he is worried about his sister, he has decided to apply there. And Ruby tells him that Aqua has a sister complex. Ruby whispers to Aqua that she never likes her, but Aqua informs Ruby that she will be in junior if she is accepted. She decides to accept it and try to be friends, calling her lowly senpai. Aqua walks away, but Kana follows him, asking him annoying questions. He turns around and asks if she's a delinquent or something with all these interrogating questions. Aqua asks her how long she intends to follow him, and Kana replies that she will stop following him when he answers her questions. The first question is about whether he still does acting, and he replies that he doesn't do that anymore. He tries to walk away again, but she continues to follow. Getting closer, Kana asks if he wants to go somewhere to catch up. Aqua replies that it's an extreme way to try to get closer, but she informs him that since she is considered a celebrity, she can't just go to a regular shop for a chat. Aqua decides to take her to the director's home, as he points out that he hasn't seen her since she was little. However, since Kana is still acting, she takes it as an offense that he doesn't watch her plays. Kana asks Aqua why he attends the director's home if he doesn't do acting, insisting that he does acting on the side. Aqua replies that the director only trained him in the basics of acting. However, he wishes to work behind the scenes as the director's assistant. Kana is happy to find out that he is still in the industry even if it isn't as an actor. They begin eating dinner, and Kana says that it's shocking that she never figured the director would be a sponge, leeching off his parents like a parasite. The director tells her that she still hasn't learned respect yet and is still an annoying rascal. She asks the director if he has any videos of Aqua acting, but Aqua instantly tells him not to show her as he has no skill for acting. Kana tries to get him a lead in the play she's currently doing, but Aqua instantly refuses again. However, hearing the name of the film sparks his interest a little, but he tells her that he is through with acting. As Kana was talking about the film, she mentioned the producer's name, Masaya Kaburagi, and this sparked Aqua's interest. When Oi died, Aqua decided to check her phone for clues about the killer. However, one phone had a password, and day after day, he would try to unlock it. After 4 years and 45,510 attempts, he succeeded. When looking through her contacts, he found someone named Masaya. Aqua decides that he will enter the film, as Kana warns him that things will be a bit problematic. She calls the producer, and he agrees to let him on set. Miyako informs Ruby about the film Aqua will be in, and Ruby begins thinking about when her mother told her that Aqua will probably grow up to be an actor, and she will grow up to be an idol. However, Aqua didn't get the acting job because of Ai's ambitions. He only wants to get closer to the producer that she interacted with. Miyako fills them in on the film called Sweet Today. She tells them there are up to 6 episodes, and only 3 of them are released, and Aqua will be playing the villain in the last episode. Ruby tells him he'll be perfect for that since his face looks like a villain anyways. They decide to watch one of the episodes, and let's just say that they were all disappointed and unwatchable. As Ruby says, it's just downright awful as the actors all sucked, even counting Kana. Aqua tells Kana what Ruby said, and she flips out. She replies that there are hardly any high schoolers who can act as good as she can. Aqua wonders why it turned out like that, and Kana says she is being held back since nobody knows how to act, and if she went all out, she would stand out, leaving the other characters with no attention. Kana also tells him that when the author of the original manga came to the film, her face was full of disappointment. Since the actors and the staff behind the scenes have worked hard, Kana decided that at the very least, she can appreciate their efforts and dial down her acting a bit. Aqua is happy to see that Kana has grown a bit since they last met, since the old Kana would have wanted all the glory for herself. She tells Aqua the schedule of the things they'll have to do in the film, and Aqua realizes not only is the play a mess but so is the schedule. They begin to think about when they were kids and Kana chewed out Aqua for rushing through the script. Now, she is the one making him rush through the script. She takes Aqua's hand, telling him it doesn't matter who trashes her, and asks him to make a good show with her because she believes it's possible with him. Aqua decides to study the film and slowly begins to think that maybe they can pull this off. They arrive at the studio, and Kana begins explaining to him that they only get one practice run as they don't have that much time. Aqua tells her that it's pretty sloppy and that even his director could somehow do better than that. Melt Narashima, the male lead of the film, comes over, but Aqua gets ignored when he tries to introduce himself. Kana informs Aqua that since he is still young, he thinks he's bigger than what he actually is. As Aqua turns around, he also introduces himself to the director, who Aqua suspects was involved in the murder of Ai or maybe even his biological father. Aqua wants to get a piece of his DNA to test the results when he gets the chance. The film begins with Aqua as the stalker who follows the female lead around. Aqua notices how funny fate is to end up portraying the stalker who murdered him and Ai. The play goes on, but water drips from the rooftop, causing the male lead to get distracted and forcing them to start over. Kana tells him that his acting was just fine. Aqua replies that it is something anyone can do if they are trained for it. He begins to rethink his last play with Kana, thinking that the only reason his acting was scary was because of his age and his mentality. But now that his body has caught up to him, he's just a dull silver dime. Kana gets excited that since she is the main lead, it's her job to give it her all, but Aqua slowly crushes that by replying that he was surprised that she was still acting, since he hasn't seen her lately. Kana mentions that it has been rough for a while as people began forgetting about her, but she kept practicing even when times were down. But now she is happy that she is finally being recognized for her hard work. Aqua goes outside where he overhears the director talking about how Kana is easy to use. Since she was laid off from her former employer, she is now just a dirt cheap actress who he can still use to obtain a little recognition. Nonetheless, he sees her as nothing more than a tool. The director dumps his cigarette in the trash and Aqua obtains a bit of his DNA. However, after thinking about what he said about Kana, he decides to go out with a bang. Hope you enjoyed the anime recap. Let us know what you thought. I'm out.